Our team was tasked with designing a resort analytics template for Minds Unincorporated. This project focuses on the creation of a dynamic report that sizes up the resort market with respect to overall opportunity size in the USA for ski, water, and golf resorts. This page exhibits all of the raw data that we gleaned from the internet to build our tool. Due to our lack of time and resources, our team used emblematic data to represent the inputs for much of our project. All of the data you see here was taken from real sources and contributes towards our analysis. The last three columns with numbers of resorts was created with a prediction algorithm that uses a random number generator in VBA. The probability of a certain number of resorts being in a given state is broken down into three tiers. For example, the amount of water resorts is based on the amount of coastal miles and water area, so that if a state has over 3,000 coastal miles and over 7,000 square miles of water, it has 10 plus RAN times 15 resorts. We created similar metrics for golf and ski resorts based on research for the type of factors that go into each kind of resort. This page depicts the frequency of various metrics from our raw data. When you click on the color scale metric button, a combo box appears and you can pick one of the metrics you saw on the previous worksheet. In this example, we will show you how the heat map depicts the number of water resorts in the contiguous United States. Once a metric has been chosen, you also have the ability to run an analysis for each state. In this example, we'll click the Click to Run Individual State Analysis button. From here, a combo box pops up, allowing the user to select a type of resort, golf, water, or ski, and a state. After these inputs have been selected, the combo box will populate the text boxes with the number of resorts, the population, the percent growth in population, and the population density for that specific state. The table on the left uses a percent rank function that automatically updates once a color scale metric has been chosen. This is useful because it allows users to see where their best and worst states are in list form, and filter this data from biggest to smallest. The United States map was created with Dr. Mandoli's heat map provided in Excel Black Belt. The states are a collection of 48 separate objects that each have their own properties that can be manipulated. We were able to assign each state a specific color based on its percentile for each metric. The upper 70% of states were colored green, the lower 30% of states were colored red, and the middle 30 to 70% were colored yellow and orange. The heat map was linked to a combo box where the user was able to decide what metric they wanted to view on the heat map. Additionally, the legend at the bottom of the map updates automatically so that the user can see what metric they are filtering on, as well as the upper and lower limits. This worksheet summarizes resort data in regards to ratings. It can be used as a search engine to look for specific resorts given a state and rating out of 5 stars. We have pulled a variety of resort information from credible travel websites, TripAdvisor, Expedia, and Ski.com, to display the general trends in resort ratings nationally. From the data we've pulled, the graph on the left summarizes how many resorts of each rating exist, and the graph in the top right displays from which sources we are pulling from. When you click the button on the image, click here to search, a user form appears and you are able to select a state and rating to search for. If no resorts exist with the specifications you have selected, the user form will display an error message to the output box and ask the user to try again. In addition, the logos on the right can be clicked to access their platforms. This is useful if you search a resort in the combo box and want to be able to look it up immediately after. This page summarizes tourism information and economic information across several states. On the left, you can see the percent growth in population for each state, GDP in millions, and an opportunity score. The opportunity score is calculated by multiplying the percent growth in population by the GDP and dividing that number by the number of resorts in a given state. Therefore, if a state has a high GDP, a lot of people moving there, and a lower number of resorts, it would be a good place to look into for resort development. The larger graph in the middle summarizes this information using a red line to indicate the 0% threshold. Points in the upper right quadrant would be the best opportunities for development. On the right, we have summarized information on the top 10 states for tourism based on the amount of revenue gained in each state. The graphs on the right summarize this information. The third graph is important because the cost of land will likely be an important factor when approaching resort development. We only had data for the top 10 states, so we utilized bar graphs to neatly display information. On the final page, we have summary visualizations of the most important weather statistics to take into consideration when choosing a location to develop a resort. These graphs show the top 10 states based on tourism revenue. In conclusion, we have displayed the top 5 opportunistic states for resort development based on the metrics we mentioned earlier. Thank you for watching.